redirecting his gaze to the impressive mansion that lay behind them.
As I have mentioned before, not only do I own a sizable portion of the corporation that employs you, but I also possess an arsenal of contacts with quite a bit of influence of their own. That is why you are here today, gentlemen. It took some doing, but I have wrangled myself the position of sole judge regarding your fates.
Mr. Transport drank his gin a bit more enthusiastically, determined to see the bottom of the glass if it would be his last.
On one hand, you two allowed my daughter, either through action or stupidity, to escape in a truly idiotic attempt to rescue her friend. The fact that she isn't dead or being held captive somewhere could be taken as testament to a kind of divine plan. But, on the other hand, Alice has returned from Lander with happiness in her eyes, and a measure of pluck that is reminiscent of her mother. She has flourished there, and it is you two that I have to thank for putting her in the program.
It seemed Mr. Adair was going to skirt over the fact that he had strong-armed them into that decision, a skirting neither of the captive men was inclined to bring to his attention.
So, after considerable thought, I have reached a verdict regarding you two,
Mr. Adair said.
I am willing to overlook the lapse in judgment you showed, and reinstate you in your post as guardians. However, I offer you this on one condition.
Name it, Mr. Numbers said.
To quell Lander's lack of confidence in you, a gesture of goodwill must be made. I happen to know they are seeking to replace the coaches who, let us say, creatively resigned. There is one man I know they are particularly hoping will take over George's role, yet they have had no luck in even locating, let alone convincing him.
With Mrs. Tracking, I'm sure we can lend a hand, Mr. Transport offered. Mr. Adair reached under the table and produced a manila folder. He slid it across until it stopped at Mr. Transport's fingers.
Finding him has been handled. It's the convincing I think you two can lend aid in. If you can talk him into taking the position, even if only for a year, you will be able to reclaim your former posts.
Mr. Numbers took the folder and flipped it open, reviewing its contents. And if we can't?
Then you no longer have any additional help to offer,
Mr. Adair said. We understand, Mr. Numbers said, snapping the folder shut. We'll do it.
Of course you will,
Mr. Adair confirmed.
Now, finish your drinks and get to it, boys. The clock is ticking.
The elves clustered together, their ravaged ranks quickly dividing into scouts, lookouts, and defenders as their leader racked his head for a plan. Elster High Range, known as Elmer in the world outside, pushed a hand past the pasted-on ear and through his disheveled hair. He couldn't believe the way they'd swept through his troops, executing traps like they were 5 moves ahead, and striking with such inhuman precision. When he'd taken over this role, Elmer had been told his predecessor had been a master of strategy, but he'd never really believed it. That was why he'd refused to yield his role as leader when the man had returned for the summer. That was why he'd been unfazed when the man took up the mantle as leader of the orcs. And that, in truth, was why he was losing so badly today. That, and the demon.
Did you see it take out the battalion of 5?
His troops were whispering, and he didn't blame them. Practicality aside, a monster like what they had...